Hi guys, today I present to you a GDL element for called a wooden partition, abbreviated as WP. Let's start with a 3D view of our partition. Let's change the length of the wooden partition. To do this, let's drag the corresponding point. Oh no! The window was behind a partition. Don't be afraid to move it back. Let's move the vertical bar between the sections. We put permission to edit the beams of openings. We can edit the upper bar of the opening. We make a double bar at the top of the opening. We drag the middle point of the bar and two bars automatically appear in this place. We change the lower horizontal bar for the window. We change the vertical bars under the window, the extreme bars and the middle bars. We change the upper bars in the same way. In the same way, we can change the thickness of the horizontal bar at the top and bottom of the partition. Remove the check mark from the item control of the bars of the opening. Now we can edit opening dimensions and we can move openings. What I have just shown is only a small part of what this library element can do. But this is the free part. You can download and use it however you like. The plan will show the inscription object is not activated. So, let's start the activation. Click on the Activate All Functions checkbox. Sub-items of this item are opened. We need to copy the user code value. First, 8 zeros will appear there. This is not our code. Double-click on the checkbox at the top. Now another 8 digits have appeared here. We copy them to the clipboard. Let's go to the payment page. Click on the left arrow. Choose a payment system and payment currency. Make the payment and send your email and user key according to the instructions. After payment, I will send you an activation key to your email. However, I warn you that it may take time when I see the receipt of money in the account. It may be up to 3 days. After entering the activation code, the items associated with activation and the inscription on the plan disappear. Save the element with the new parameters as a favorite. Use this favorite to avoid having to re-enter your user key. Now you will be able to see what features you are paying your money for. Disable the checkbox Only 3D. And miraculously, the projections and dimensions of the element appear, which we did not even create. This automatically created our GDL element. As an engineer, I know very well how much time it takes to set dimensions and create views and sections. This takes at least 50% of the engineer's time when designing wooden partitions. You can adjust all parameters on all projections. Additional features also appear. You can specify the direction of the beginning of the placement of vertical bars. This can be done on the left or right. For two sections, you can install a bar in the middle. It is convenient to adjust the thickness of horizontal bars on a vertical section. In the control of horizontal bars, you can add new layers of bars and adjust other parameters by entering numbers. It is enough to shift the control point to 0 to remove the layer of timber. Change the length and height of the partition. You can change the output units of dimensions. To do this, enter parameters, then project settings, then working units, then length unit, and then select the desired output units for the length dimensions. All dimensions can be moved by control points. Let's build a frame house from our walls. Copy and paste exterior walls. We change doors to windows and 3 outer walls. You need to tick the appropriate checkbox. A single beam stands above this opening. We change it to 2 bars by dragging the control points. Repeat this operation for another opening. To do the same for all openings, we select all the walls and enter the data of the horizontal beam above the openings and the appropriate item. We check, the beams have become double everywhere. Change the 3D style to basic vector. Wall coverings became visible. We copy the outer wall. We will make an internal partition out of it. Change the thickness of the inner partition. Change its length. Changing its coverage. Changing windows to doors. Changing the width of a door. It is convenient for us to enter data not in feet but in inches. To do this, change the length input units. We put the next partition by copying the previous one. Removing doors. Reducing the length of the partition. We put the bars of the outer walls opposite the inner partitions. To do this, we shift the points that indicate the boundaries of the wall sections. Copy the wall up. For what? Let's make a roof out of a wall. Change the angle to the vertical plane from 0 to 90 degrees and the wall becomes a slab. Let's go to the floor plan. We move the roof partition. Change its length. We need to change the height of the partition. For an inclined partition, this is best done in 3D form. Change its layer to roof. Change the thickness of the partition. Let's lift it up a bit. Change the height of the partition. Copy and paste the next partition. Change the thickness of the bars. Let's go to the floor plan. It is convenient for us to adjust the thickness of the beams on the vertical section of the partition. We install all horizontal beams with a thickness of 3 inches. Let's go to 3D view. Copy the outer wall to the roof. Reduce the height of the barrier. Oops! We forgot to remove the windows. We fix this error. We change the different thicknesses of the beams, horizontal, vertical, the thickness of the entire partition. Edit and copy this partition. Received 3 partitions. We change the coding of these partitions. Transfer these partitions to the roof layer. We check the correctness of finding partitions in the corresponding layers. Move the projection of the partition by dragging the control point. We change the prefix of the name of the internal partition from WL to PR. Repeat the same for the second inner partition. We also change its number from 1 to 2. Move the projections of other partitions so that they do not overlap each other. We change the numbers of the outer walls. Turn on the roof layer. We shift the projections of the roof partitions. Select all projections of the roof layer. Change their name prefix to RF. Let's change their numbers. Small partitions have 2 sections. We replace the number of sections with 1. We calculate the beam of all partitions. We select all partitions. We go to the menu items, Document, Listing Extras, Component Lists, Basics, copy the data to the clipboard. Opening a file named Beams Specification USA. We delete the data left from the previous calculation. Press the Receive Data from Clipboard button. We get a complete calculation of the beams for each wall and the calculation by types of beams. You can change the output format of the data in the table. We can calculate all data in millimeters. To do this, repeat the same steps, but open the file beam specification A. Thank you for your attention. Subscribe to my channel Programming in ArchiCAD. Buy my program, because I have done a great job for you.